Hi guys, my name is Yash. I'm a ECBA certified business analyst, and today we'll be continuing with our 42nd question of our BA interview series. So let's begin. What if the interviewer asks, which BA tools do you use and why? I'll answer. As a business analyst, I use different tools based on stage and purpose of the project. I primarily use Jira for managing user stories, sprint tracking, backlog management, and monitoring delivery progress in Agile projects. For documentation and collaboration, I use Confluence to maintain BRDs, FRDs, meeting notes, requirements, and project knowledge in a centralized manner. For process modeling and workflow visualization, I use tools like Draw.io, Lucidchart, or Miro to create BPMN diagrams, process maps, and flowcharts. I also use tools like Figma or Visily AI for wireframes and prototypes to help stakeholders visualize the solution before development. For reporting and analysis, I use tools like Excel or Power BI to analyze data, create dashboards, and derive business insights. In my CraftCart project, I use Jira for user stories and backlog tracking, Confluence style documentation for BRD and FRD preparation, Draw.io for BPMN diagrams, Miro for collaboration and process analysis, and Visily AI for wireframing and prototyping. Overall, I choose tools based on whether they need is requirement management, collaboration, visualization, agile execution, or business analysis. So, as you can see, as a business analyst, I use different tools depending on project phase and business need. First would be Jira. I use Jira for managing user stories, sprint tracking, backlog management, defect tracking, and agile workflow management. It helps team track progress and manage delivery efficiently. Then I use Confluence. I use Confluence for BRD and FRD documentation, meeting notes, requirement sharing, and project collaboration. It acts as a centralized knowledge repository for the team. Then I use Draw.io or Lucidchart or Miro. These tools help create BPMN diagram, flowcharts, process maps, and stakeholder collaboration boards. Then I use Figma or Visily AI for wireframes, UI mockups, and prototypes. These tools help stakeholders visualize the solution before development starts. Then I use Excel or Power BI for reporting and analysis. So I use Excel for data analysis, RTM, and tracking, and Power BI for dashboards and business insights. RTM is basically requirements traceability management. Then I use SQL. I also use SQL for validating data, analyzing reports, and understanding database level information. This helps in requirement validation and defect analysis. In my CraftCart project, as you can see, I have used Jira for user stories and sprint style tracking. I have used Confluence style documentation for BRD and FRD documentation. I use Draw.io and Miro for BPMN diagram and process analysis. I use Visily AI for wireframes and prototypes. I use Excel for requirement tracking and gap analysis. This helped me maintain clear communication, collaboration, and traceability throughout the project. I chose BA tools based on whether requirement is related to collaboration, documentation, agile execution, visualization, analysis, or stakeholder communication. So thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you learned something from it.